Mr. John Bouchier!
So when you go to school?
Go to two schools.
Oh, two schools.
Weekday school,
Yeah.
and Sunday school.
Oh. Which school do you like best?
Sunday school.
Why is that?
Only go once a week.
Hello again. I'd like to talk about South Africa. I was lucky enough to tour that for about 5 or 6 years on the trot during the winter time over here. And it was good weather over there. And the first time I did a show with a chap called Daniel Boone in 1973. I went out there with Ronnie Dukes and Ricky Lee and a couple of other acts, and we did it for an agent called Ronnie Quibell. And this Daniel Boone, whom was unknown in this country, had written 2 songs which became hits out in South Africa. One was called Daddy, Don't You Walk So Fast, and the one that he was better known for was Beautiful Sunday. And as I say, we toured all around South Africa with that, and it was a great hit. We came back, and Ronnie Quibell contacted my agent and said, I'd like to use John around the hotel circuits out here in the big cities. So the following year, I went out to South Africa for the first time, did sort of places like Cape Town, Durban, all the big cities. And I worked on my own then. Well, the South African population was made up of 3 sort of groups of people: the indigenous black South Africans, the Afrikaans or Boers from whose origins were from Holland, and the British. So you'd get people like Van der Merwe, who was obviously an Afrikaans, or Harris, who was a British one, you see. And as I say, it was during apartheid, and they were allowed to come into the hotels where the black population weren't. Now, the indigenous population had this little devil that they believed in called Togolosh. It was about the size of my first dummy, Charlie. And he would attack them during the night. So they would put their beds up on bricks so that he couldn't reach them. Well, of course, I arrive and I've got this white Togolosh, little Charlie. So I could have virtually ruled South Africa in those days because they would do anything for me. And to get onto the stage, I used to have to walk through the kitchens, and all these chaps used to get behind the serving bar, the big smiles on their faces, but their names were on their chest, you see. So as I walked past, I used to get Charlie to say, "Hello, Adam," or whatever his name was, you see, and he'd go, "Oh, he knows my name, boss." Well, they'd think he'd got their spirit then, you see, so they hated that. Also, I was working in a place called Port Elizabeth, and it was raining there, and it wasn't the rainy season. It was raining out of turn, as it were, and they couldn't understand it, you see, and they wondered what it was all about. Well, one of the chaps who was a waiter in the hotel went back and said, "I can tell you why it's raining. There's a chap there with a fish lady. She's half lady and half fish, and she has to be kept wet." Well, they were fed up with this, because it was raining so hard, and they lived in these townships, you see, and they were getting mud everywhere and hated it. So they started to gather outside the hotel and chanting, you know. And the manager said to me, "For goodness sake, don't go out." He said, they'll lynch you. So I did the whole month there, sort of looking out the window, and couldn't sit out in the sunshine or anything. And the day I left, when they'd finished the contract, the sun came out. And they said, "There you are, you see, told you it was him." I'll talk to you next time about a bit about apartheid and the nasty things that used to happen at that time. See you then. Bye.
I think you're very lovely. But I think you're going to have to go back. Tell me, do you have a mother and father?
No.
No.
No, she's an active cod.
She isn't. And there thy hangs a tail and all, aren't they?
For being such a good little boy, would you like a little piece of chocolate?
I like a big piece of chocolate. Really does.
You can't have a lot of chocolate because you'll be ill, but here's a little piece of chocolate. When it's gone, will you let me know because it's past your bedtime? There we are. That's the idea. Don't bite your finger. That's it. Has he gone yet?
Not yet.
Hurry up and take your time. School tomorrow. You get no pocket money. Now?
Yes, thank you.
Show me your tongue. Oh, yes, so it has. Thank you.